NASCAR has said the adjustments that they made to the rear fender on that pit stop, they're good to go on that. The body is just fine. Bad news, Johnson came on the radio shortly after the green flag and said he thought he had a tire out of balance. He has a vibration in car number 48, your leader.
Boy, Dick, you'd never know it looking at the lap times right now, because right now he's beating the competition by over a half a second. As we see Scott Riggs in the 10 battling Jeff Gordon in the 24. This is a battle for 7th place.
You notice vibrations, Larry, when you're all out there all by yourself, nobody around you, and you're not racing anybody. Things are, you notice things that you don't normally notice when you're in there racing with people.
Give a call to Kyle Busch, the driver with the yellow bumper there in the number 5. For a rookie, with the added pressure of coming to race in his hometown in front of all of his longtime friends, Kyle's doing a great job. He's 6th, just ahead of that pair, Riggs and Gordon, battling behind him. He's had quite a day. He's been up there.
He really has. And I think, you know, well, we have to remember, only 19 years old, and he's out there racing these guys much older than him and with a lot more experience. 19 years old.
Somebody that's not too far behind this crowd right here either. Tony Stewart, he's up to 10th place.
You are the man.
I think Tony's issue.
Well, I'd like to see what this car can do off clean air.
3rd place, Kevin Harvick, going after Kurt Busch.
I think Tony's issues has been his fenders, though. I think he got those fenders beat in a little bit. These pit stops have helped him work on that thing, and that car looks a lot better now. The whole right side of it's all caved in, but it's going on.
Harvick now with clear sailing. Ryan Newman out in front of Kevin by 1 second. Jimmy Johnson right now owns a 1.9 second lead. Caution is out for a spin by Scott Riggs. Pit road's open. Matt?
Work already going on. Kurt Busch is 4. They've already made a track bar adjustment. They backed up the change to maybe 4 and went on one more round. And, Steve, they backed up on the air pressures. He said he was getting walked all over at the beginning of the run. Joe Nemechek came in 5th. They made no adjustments to that race car, just 4 tires. Good stop for them. Dick?
Now Jimmy Johnson came in, took 4 tires, and that'll get rid of that vibration almost certainly. He was the leader coming in, but a couple of people have beaten him going out.
There you see the race off pit road. Ryan Newman, that in pit box, prevails again. Tony Stewart, the real winner there. He gains 3 positions. There you see the pit road times on every one. Ryan Newman, Matt Kenseth up in the top 10 now, the fastest. Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, the slowest. And what we're also hearing, the 29 car is going to have more problems because he was too fast on pit road exiting. That means with 29 cars on the lead lap, he will have to start this race at the tail end of the longest line with about 70 laps to go.
That's bad luck for Harvick, but not as bad as the day turn for Scott Riggs, running in the top 10 all day. Watch his number 10 here at turn 4.
Maybe just comes around with him. Looks like the car was just real free. He does have a right front down. I'm not sure if it was before or after the spin. But then this is not the bad news. The worst news is he tears the whole right front fender off the thing getting to pit road.
Stay in here. Stay up. Stay up. Stay up.
And here's what happened as he stayed out an extra lap trying to wait for pit road to be open. And Kurt Busch is back in, Matt.
They had to hit 2 lugs on that left front of Kurt Busch. Costly mistake. But this Nevada native, they're going to do a little tug on the fender. Loses a lot of track position because of those 2 loose lugs.
Well, Kevin Harvick will have company in the back.
And Mike, we talked about it at the beginning of the show. You know, mistakes on pit road. It can beat you every time, especially this late in the race, whether it's speeding by the drivers or lug nuts by the pit crew.
Good news for Busch, 71 laps to go. So we'll see how Busch and Harvick come back from 24th and 25th place on this restart.
See Mike Wallace in the 4 car. He did not get the free pass that last time. Elliott Sadler in the 38 car is back on the lead lap now.
I'll mention also back in the race, Casey Kane. They bolted on a new trunk lid and spoiler onto what was left of his car. Up front, here we go.
Look at Mike Wallace. I mean, once again, he shot out there.
But how about that 01 car, Joe Nemechek? He just drives by Jimmy Johnson in the 48 going down the backstretch for second place, but Jimmy wants to fight back on the high side. And how about that orange car, Tony Stewart? He's back in the equation in the 20 car.
And where are the Roush cars? The highest one of them in the running order right now is Greg Biffle in 6th. Matt Kenseth in 10th.
Well, they've had to deal with some issues, the Roush boys have. Bush obviously just back in the pits, and Matt getting behind, but he's fought his way back, so got a little ways to go here. We'll see what happens.
For the lead in the backstretch, Jimmy Johnson had to lift, go to the other lane to get under Mike Wallace, and then get back in the gas. Let's see if he beats Newman to the line. Not this time.
I mean, look at that. That's lap 200. And these guys are side by side, almost coming to a photo at the start-finish line for lap 200.
I think you better race. If you enjoy racing that 48, you better do it right now. Because I don't know if you'll see him anymore for a while. Jimmy Johnson is out of here.
Two of the Hendrick-powered Chevys surrounding the Dodge of Ryan Newman. Jimmy Johnson the leader, Joe Nemechek in 3rd. The Gibbs Chevy of Tony Stewart 4th, and another Hendrick Chevrolet, that's Jeff Gordon, in 5th. And another Hendrick Chevy 7th, rookie Kyle Busch. 2 Fords in the top 10. Biffle, we mentioned. How about Dale Jarrett in 8th?
We've not talked about him about today because he qualified in 13th. He went backwards when the race started. You can see right there he was as low as 26, but they just continued to work on that car, and now he's in the top 10 up in 8th position with 66 laps to go.
Probably he and his teammate have done the best job of getting their cars where they can be competitive here at the end of the race.
A little tire rub once again on the 17 of Matt Kenseth as Jamie McMurray works his way around for 11th. And Kevin Harvick now has Rusty Wallace to contend with. Remember, Harvick had to come back in to serve that speeding penalty, and he's trying to come up from what's now 23rd place in car 29.
But when you look at that battle for 11th on the left with McMurray in the 42 and Kenseth in the 17, we just a second ago talked about Matt Kenseth being 2 laps down. Jamie McMurray thought he had a flat tire about 100 laps ago. He was a lap down back to free pass, trying to get back to the top 10. Elliott Sadler in the 38 car, remember, he just got the free pass just a few laps ago. Now he's trying to work back into the top 20. Right now he's back in 24th position.
Oh boy, man, Jeff Gordon had the nose right up on the back of Nemechek, and it turned Nemechek a little sideways off turn 4 that time.
You know, I think this is a day that validates the free pass rule. You don't want fans headed for the exit when their driver gets a lap down. You want them to have an honest chance to make it up. Yes, you can make it up on the racetrack if you restart next to the leader, as some drivers have done, but that's not always possible. You can't race back to the caution flag anymore. That was deemed unsafe, and rightly so. So the free pass rule permits a driver to have a chance to get back on the lead lap by maintaining position closest to the leader and being a lap or more off the pace. And today, it's worked.
And the good news is, every time a caution comes out, someone will be the recipient of that lucky pass.
Did he earn his way back by passing the leader? Perhaps not. But by being in position behind the leader, he earns the right to the free pass, just as Mike Wallace has just done, because caution is out once again for debris.
And we've seen how Mike Wallace has just driven his heart out to try to get in the position to get this back.
Makes it a good race within the race.
Now, what makes it interesting about this caution, it's only been 10 laps since these cars were on pit road. We have 27 cars on the lead lap, now 28 with Mike Wallace. We're going to have about 55, 57 laps to go.
It's going to be 57 laps to go when they wave this green flag. The Dodges of Ryan Newman and Casey Mears, who took 2 tires, out in front of Jimmy Johnson and Joe Nemechek Chevys. The Ford of Elliott Sadler, Dave Blaney, Greg Biffle, Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, and Kyle Busch.
Boy, Kyle Busch in the 5 car, he saw that line was not going, and the move he made was perfectly legal. He passed to the outside before the start-finish line, but the green flag was displayed.
Yeah, Casey Mears just didn't get going, Larry, and kind of backed everything up.
Jeff Gordon underneath. It's Biffle. And here they come. Who will lead the flat?
Inside.
Johnson.
Again, we need to make a note that Ryan Newman in the 12, as well as Casey Mears in the 41, Elliott Sadler in the 38, Dave Blaney in the 07, elected to change just those 2 right side tires. And the biggest thing that happens, Darrell, when you do that is the air pressure grows the more you run the tires. It takes a little bit of time to get the air pressure to come up in those right side tires to match the air pressure in the lefts.
To get that balance back, it takes a few laps.
And Larry and Darrell, the one thing I like about these guys rolling the dice right now, they had just been on pit road, like lap 198.6, 197. Actually had probably 5 or 6 green laps on those left side tires. I think it's a great time to roll the dice, putting on 2 tires.
Well, more importantly, right now, Newman took the lead back from Jimmy Johnson, and here is Johnson this time with a much better run off turn 2 than he got the last lap, trying to retake the lead. But again, Newman shoves it hard into turn 3.
While these guys are racing side by side, Casey Mears in the 41 as well as Joe Nemechek in the 01, it's bringing them into the equation. Right now, Nemechek is trying to get by Casey Mears in the 41 for 3rd.
25 lead changes in this race. That ties the record set in 1999.
Newman's actually, I think his car looks a little bit better on the 2-tire combination. Jimmy Johnson has driven off and left him in the prior restarts, but Newman's hanging tough.
Here comes Gordon. Jeff Gordon underneath Biffle makes the pass.
Whoa, the 5-car
clears
got
Mears.
around. Woo, he almost lost it.
Kyle Busch. I tell you, the car that's really paid off for it looks like Elliott Sadler in that 38 car. His crew chief Todd Perry. Remember, at one point he was a lap down. He got wrecked over in turn 3 and 4. Now with the gamble on 2 tires here, with about 50 laps to go, he's up there in the top 5. Our outside pole sitter.
I've been impressed with the recovery they have made. Just a good example of never giving up. And I think also it's a good example of these cars are so sensitive to making the right adjustments on them to take you out of the game, put you in the game.
Just as you'd expect, Jeff Gordon in that 24 car, again, he was involved in a wreck earlier, but he knows there's only 50 laps to go. He's trying to get to the front before his teammate Jimmy Johnson in the 48 gets too far out there, as he's battling right now for the 5th position with Casey Mears in the 41.
Yep, here comes Mr. Show Me the Money.
The money lap is close.
Well, the last 3 races here haven't been very productive for Jeff. Be a good day to turn all that around. 16th or better is all he's done here in the last 3 races.
We talked about Dale Jarrett in the UPS car, the 88 car, just a little while ago, and he's up there battling with Kevin Harvick, who had a speeding penalty not too many laps ago. And right now, this is a battle for 16th.
And look just in front of those 2, Larry. Jason Leffler, who spun off the bumper of Ken Schrader to bring out a caution while entering the pits. We thought that car was badly damaged. It was not. Leffler's been a top 15 car even since that accident and for the rest of the day. Well, here comes Biffle in the National Guard number 16. He moves past Casey Mears for 6th place.
And these are fast race cars, but what's happening, and Darrell, you talked about this earlier in the show, Jimmy Johnson is so fast at the beginning, he gets so far out there, these guys cannot run him down.